Hello and welcome to this beginner's tutorial on understanding the lifecycle of a servlet. A servlet is a Java class that extends the capabilities of a server. It follows a lifecycle comprising 4 states. 1. Initialization. 2. Service. 3. Destruction. 4. Waiting. Let's start with initialization. The web container creates an instance of the servlet class by invoking its argument constructor. Then, it calls the servlet's init method to initialize it. The init method is called only once and takes the servlet config object as an argument. Here's an example of an init method. Now let's move on to the service state. When the server receives a request for a servlet, it calls the servlet's service method. This method takes 2 arguments, the servlet request and the servlet response, provided by the web container. The service method processes the request and generates the response, which is sent back to the server. The response is then sent back to the client by the server. Here's an example of a service method. Next, let's look at the destruction state. When the server decides to take a servlet out of service, it calls the destroy method of the servlet. This method gives the servlet an opportunity to release any resources that it's holding onto. Here's an example of a destroy method. Finally, let's take a look at the waiting state. When a servlet is not handling requests, it remains in the waiting state. That's it for the lifecycle of a servlet. I hope this tutorial helped you understand it better. Thanks for watching and happy coding.